I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
I did not know Resident Alien was a thing, sadly, until we scheduled this. And then I watched the pilot last night. It was fucking delightful. I wish I had known about it. It was really fun, clever, unique.
Welcome.
Alan's great. You're great.
Thanks.
Alice is great. Everybody's really great. And I wish I'd known about it.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty. And that you're not far off from a lot of audience members, actually, because it's a sci-fi show, now a USA show, mostly an NBC Universal Peacock app show. And it's had its ups and downs because we started in 2018.
Oh, I didn't realize you started so long ago.
Yeah. So we're just now, like you, Mike, being found because it just came to Netflix this year.
Oh, that helps. Huge.
Yes. And Netflix is a big, like, all of a sudden now people are like, hey, this show. And we're like, we've been around for 6 years.
Because now you got picked up for a 4th season, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so exciting and
the
up and
Lord.
down. What a roller coaster.
Yeah, it has been. We started the pilot 2018. I was waitressing. I didn't tell anyone because I was like, this might not go. So I waitressed for a whole year. I'm glad I didn't tell anybody because we didn't get picked up for a whole year.
Wow.
Not until November 2019 did we start shooting season 1. And then March 2020, COVID shut us down. We had just gotten started, you guys.
So in the middle of filming?
Like 2 weeks left. 2 weeks left.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had my hand, you'll get to this episode. I'm not going to tell you much, but I did have my hand like inside Alan's chest with like alien goo up my arm. And this was like the day we'd been told that it was basically like the end of the world. And no one knew what was happening. And I just looked at him. I had my hand in his chest and I was like, well, if I never see you again, it's been really good working with you. Like he's like,
and if you have COVID, now I have COVID probably too with my hand.
It's like we had been told that morning, Alan's in half alien makeup, like, hey, we got to shut down for this disease. The world is shut. People are going crazy in America because we're in Vancouver when we're shooting.
Right.
They're like, throwing toilet paper into their bags and running. Like, I mean, it was just crazy. I remember crossing the border too. Like once we got across back to America because they made it seem so scary, and it was sure. But I was like weeping on the other side of the border, and then because my husband and I drive.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, that is not what you asked.
Wait, you drive to
We drive to Vancouver.
Why?
We like to road trip.
Oh,
and we like to have a car when we're there.
Like,
no.
Okay.
No, I love planes, especially they fly me first class. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah,
but
Sci-Fi Network.
Yeah, right.
And now USA Network.
Right now USA.
But let me. Okay,
So that's how far along.
Yeah, and this brings up an interesting question to me, though. It's like you've been working. You've been, I assume, trying to work for a very long time. You've had a few gigs here and there, and then you finally get a series regular lead, all this stuff, and then that happens. Isn't that kind of ironic? Like where I'm at and where a lot of people are at, it's like, if we can get one, maybe that'll spin the momentum. And it's ironic that you get a big one or a semi-big one, right? You don't know if it's going to get picked up, obviously, when you do the pilot, but then all those up and downs after. Isn't that just funny that you never can get comfortable, really?
Mike, it is. It's funny. It's ironic. It's also like I've learned a lot. I think I like talking about this actually because I think people have this misconception about success, and I did too. I worked so hard for so long and was like, if I could just book this one thing, then ... And it's just not how it works. Like it did work in the sense that I booked a thing. A year later, it picked up. So then I did stop waitressing, which is a dream, right? For all of us out there who are serving and slinging drinks and steaks and potatoes, it does happen. It is real. You can get out of the waitressing job. Like it does. It's possible. But then we had the irony of the show shutting down. We weren't sure if it was going to go. It might be canceled at that point. What was wild for our show was that quarantine, I think, helped us get viewers because sci-fi is not like, it's not this highly lauded network. People who watch sci-fi are like loyal fans.
Right.
Or they don't watch sci-fi. It's one or the other. So we have these incredible fans who are so committed and loyal, but we have a lot of people who are like, no, thanks. I'm not watching it if it's on sci-fi.
Yeah.
And so because of quarantine, more people were like, I need content. I need something. And they went through all of their normal networks and they were like, oh, Alan Tudyk, I think I remember him as the pirate. Like, I'll check it out, like Dodgeball. Like, sure, he looks familiar. And then they tried it out. So we actually had like over 1 million viewers for season 1.
Oh, great.
For a sci-fi show, which was, so we ended up becoming their number 1 show on their network.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't like, then it's COVID. Then it's like people are still trying to figure things out. Now we're doing season 2 in the middle of COVID. It takes longer to shoot it, longer to get to air it. Like by that time, people are still like, what's this show? And, we were just like catching our stride at the beginning of this year when we aired season 3 and then they put it on Netflix. And then everybody was like, whoa, Resident Alien, like amazing, amazing, amazing. And we're like, yes, thank you. Hi, we've been here. Oh my God, nice to meet you. Like, yes, but then we were like waiting until last month, which is like a long time to wait. Usually they tell you within a certain amount of time contractually. There's like a rollover in terms of like you need to know by a certain time or the series regulars are let go of.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they waited till June to let us know about season 4, we were all like, is this it? Like, did we finish and that's all it's going to be? And I'm glad we're talking about it only because it feels like this long-winded answer, which is how it feels in career too. It's a long-winded success.
Right.
It's like, it's not like, oh, everything's better now. Everything's different.
I think it even more so is the idea that you can't tie yourself to the highs and the lows of this. You just have to remain or try as best you can to remain even keeled throughout those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even if you book a series regular row, there's going to be lows with that.
Yes.
And high. Like you just have to remain even keeled.
Yeah. I mean, I think I did have a lot of lows for season 1 and 2 because it wasn't what I was promised. It was not the prince that was promised. It was like, it was, it being my first time being a series regular, I had to get out of my head and out of my own way to not feel like, imposter syndrome, which I feel like all artists feel at some point. And I was, my counterpart was Alan, and he's like the ticket seller of the show. And not to say that I'm not equal to him, but in my mind in season 1, when I was there, I really felt like, oh, I gotta show up. I gotta do my stuff. I gotta know what I'm doing. And it wasn't until the end of season 1 that I finally relaxed into like, oh, right. No, I worked for this. I was cast in this for a reason. I'm allowed to be here. And it wasn't until about season 2 that I was really like, all right. But then it was COVID, which was a completely different way of doing work.
Yeah.
So we haven't, as a show and as a cast, had any normalcy. Like, what's normal?
Right.
I don't know what that is. I really don't.
I feel like
I don't know what it's like to work on a show that's normal.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the creative endeavor in general. And I feel like you are, though, like to give you a high or maybe a positive spin. It's like, at least it's now found an audience while it's still available, right?
Absolutely.
Like there's all those iconic shows like Freaks and Geeks and stuff that got canceled before they got discovered.
Yes.
And it's not going to come back. You guys got discovered while you're still eligible.
You're right.
And are coming back, which is amazing.
Hey, you're right.
I think of all the artists that died and then their work sold for like millions of dollars. It's like, at least that didn't happen where it was canceled. And then you're like, oh no, now you know.
No, you're right. We actually thought about that too. We were like, this could be like a Schitt's Creek type of thing. Like they didn't get discovered until season 6 and then they were done.
Network, yeah.
So, which we were like, it would be cool if it's a Schitt's Creek type of thing because they got not only recognized, but like very much beloved, So we were like, that would be an amazing thing to happen, even if it's at the last minute and we're done. And technically, maybe that, like, I'm not, trying to put any like bad juju on it, but we are contractually done. Like, we have reached the 7-year mark in TV land. Like, so if they want to continue past season 4, they have to start new contracts. And we're in a time where like, we don't know. So it could be that everyone's discovering it now and we will in fact be done after the season, but also it could be that we're just getting started.
Just the start, yeah.
And I don't know which way it's going to go. So we're kind of all going into season 4 like, it was really great working with you. It's really great knowing you. We don't know what it's going to be.